5 mindset changes around sex you must make. Hey everybody, in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 mindset changes that you really need to make if you want to have truly amazing sex. As my wife Celine used to say, our mind is our biggest sex organ. And that is really true. Assuming that our body is functioning properly the way that it should, so much of whether or not we enjoy sex, whether we think it's great or, we think it's not so good, or we have amazing orgasms versus or none, a lot of that has to do with what's going on in our minds. Of course, there's other things too, right? We need to train our physical bodies. As men, we need to learn how to last longer. As women, we need to learn how to soften and open and receive more. Yes, there is all of that. And there are some mindset changes that are essential to having great sex. And that is what we're going to talk about in this video. But before we do that, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Doing so really helps the channel. I have faced a tremendous amount of censorship with my content here. So, the more that you like a video, share it, subscribe to the channel, comment on it, all of those things really help the algorithm. It helps to bypass some of that automated censorship. So I'd really appreciate it if you could do that. I'm Kevin Anthony, and I'm a certified sexologist and host of the Love Lab podcast. And for over 10 years, I have been helping men, women, and couples identify the patterns and behaviors that are sabotaging their relationships and sex life. When you need help to have the relationship and sex life you know is possible, but just haven't been able to figure out, I can help you have the relationship of your dreams and the best sex of your life. All right, let's just jump right in with the 5 mindset changes. Number 1, sex is not only normal, but it's healthy, both physically and emotionally, and that relationships with a successful and satisfying sex life tend to last longer and are happier. Okay, so the mindset shift on this one is this. A lot of people hold shame around sex, that somehow it's wrong, that somehow something they want is wrong or shameful. In fact, I did recently an entire podcast episode on how to remove shame from sex. So, if you're experiencing any sexual shame, please go check that out. And the mindset shift here is just realizing that sex is normal. It is absolutely normal. It is a normal part of being a healthy human being. It's healthy for us physically for multiple reasons, and it's healthy for us emotionally. And if we want a successful, happy, long-term committed relationship, the statistics are clear that the ones that are the most successful and last the longest are the ones that have a happy sex life. So, you want to have a great sex life. You want to have a long-lasting, happy relationship. To do that, you've got to change anything that's in your mind that's blocking you from feeling like sex is good, sex is natural, sex is healthy. So if there's any shame around that, or feeling like maybe it's bad, or maybe it's something that we shouldn't do, or we should only do in certain ways, you've got to let that go. You've got to figure out how to let go of those beliefs because they're not serving you anymore, and bring in the beliefs that are of the kind that it's like, yeah, sex is great and it's healthy, and it's something that we enjoy and that brings us closer together as a couple. Mindset shift number 2, your partner must and should be able to meet all of your sexual needs. That's pretty rare. It's pretty rare that somebody will want to do all the same things you want to do in all the same ways you want to do them at all the same times that you want to do them, right? That's pretty rare. And one of the challenges that couples have is somebody in the couple has this desire or this need, and it's not something the other person can or is willing to satisfy. right? And it causes a pretty major discord because people are stuck in that belief of, but you're my partner, you're supposed to do these things, right? And so the mindset shift really is, everybody is a sovereign being. And if it's something that, doesn't work for them and they're not willing to do, that is okay. So then you come to a point of, all right, can we negotiate? Can we come up with a compromise that works for both of us? That's one possibility. And if we can't, is there another way that I could get that need met? And it doesn't necessarily mean outside the relationship, but maybe there's a toy or maybe something you can do on your own and you create space for that. Just finding ways to work with that so that you don't get stuck in this, he's supposed to always do this or she's supposed to always do that because, we're married or we're partners or whatever. So that's the mindset shift there. Now, obviously, it's great if your partner can meet the overwhelming majority of your sexual needs, and you should work together to see how you can do that. But having that expectation that they must and they have to at all costs is doing you a disservice in your relationship. Okay, mindset shift number 3. The goal of sex is to orgasm/ejaculate. No, it's not. This is a big one, especially for a lot of men. It's less so for women, although women can get very goal-oriented as well and really focus on trying to get to that orgasm. But women tend to be more content with having sex that feels good and provides pleasure without having an orgasm. Most women do not orgasm every time they have sex, regardless of how good their partner is. There can be all kinds of other things that potentially get in the way. And so they've come to learn that, it's okay if they have sex and they get enjoyment out of it, but yet don't have an orgasm. So it's a little bit easier for most women to handle that. But men, we get very goal-oriented. And it's like, I am just driving full speed ahead to that orgasm/ejaculation as quickly as I can. And that really does you and her a disservice. It's one of the things that contributes to premature ejaculation and contributes to her not being satisfied with the sex that you are having. So the mindset shift here is get out of that thinking of we're doing this to reach the destination of orgasm/ejaculation. And I say it like that, orgasm/ejaculation, because for most men, they're the same thing. In other words, they occur simultaneously. They are actually two separate things that happen within the body, and you can learn how to separate them. You can learn how to have non-ejaculatory orgasms, and you can learn that in my Master Your Ejaculation program at powerandmastery.com. But for most men, it's pretty much the same thing. When they orgasm and they ejaculate at the same time. And so many men get caught up in that thinking of that's what this is all about, is to get me to that place. And that's not what it is all about. It is about the co-creation between you and your partner. It's about building that sexual energy, moving that sexual energy, and experiencing all of the pleasure that comes along with that. Riding multiple waves of ecstatic, orgasmic bliss. And then maybe you orgasm, maybe you don't orgasm. So you need to get in your mind in that space, especially if as a man, you want to learn how to last longer. It is critically important to be in that mindset if you really want to master your ejaculation. Okay, mindset shift number 4. Penetration lasting 5 to 7 minutes is normal and sufficient. So you've heard me talk about this many, many times. There's been a few studies done over the years on how long the average man lasts, and the average is 5 to 7 minutes. Of course, those same studies have shown that it takes the average woman 25 to 30 minutes to reach orgasm. And in my personal experience, it can take women even longer than that, depending on how much foreplay there was, what's going on in her mind, how busy her day was, and about 1,000 other factors. So you can see that 5 to 7 minutes is not sufficient. So here's the mindset shift. You've got to stop thinking that sex that's less than 10 minutes is good sex or adequate. Because it may be for you as a man, especially if you're still stuck in the earlier, mindset of, oh, well, it's all about the ejaculation. Because within 5 to 7 minutes, you enjoyed a little bit of pleasure. You had your orgasm / ejaculation and all was great. Except she's over there going, And then she's not really interested the next time you want to have sex. Why? Because the sex isn't good for her. Because she's not getting anywhere near her orgasm. Right? So the mindset shift is you have to realize sex that's less than 10 minutes is not adequate. You got to stop thinking in terms of, oh, well, I can go for 10 minutes. I'm above average, right? It's just not adequate. We are at a level of evolution in, who we are as humans that we're not bound by that anymore. We can do so much more. We are capable of so much more. And trust me, she wants so much more. So shift that mindset and realize that if you can only go 10 minutes or less, time to step up your game, time to change your mindset, and time to learn some new skills. All right, and mindset shift number 5, the very last one, is sex is really about your own gratification. I do see a lot of people when it comes to sex, it's really about their own gratification, their own pleasure, what they're getting out of it. What am I getting out of this? And really, that is the wrong way to be thinking about it. The right way to be thinking about it is, what are we co-creating here together? It's not just about what you're getting. It's not just about what he or she is getting on the other side, right? And it's not a competition to see who can get more. It is about, how are we co-creating together? What are we co-creating together? And when you can shift your mindset around that, sex becomes far less about going towards my orgasm because that's going to feel good, and more about, wow, let's co-create something truly amazing here. Let's uplift each other. Let's use that energy to create other things in life that we want to create. Let's deepen our intimacy and connection. Let's improve our relationship. There's so many things that you can do through sex that don't involve just you chasing your orgasm, right? So that is a very important mindset shift as well. You need to stop thinking about sex from the point of view of what it is that you're getting out of it, and shift over to the point of view of, what are we co-creating together? All right, there you go. Those were 5 mindset shifts around sex that you must be doing. If you can do those, you are really in a good place. You are really on your way to having the most amazing sex of your entire life. And as always, if you want to find out more about my work, please go to kevinanthonycoaching.com/link in bio. That's where you can find out all about all of the work that I am doing, from my coaching programs to my podcast, my YouTube channel, great products that I recommend, blog articles, free gifts, and so much more.